I am here to report to you the classification of subclass or subclass Acari. The first is the superorder Parasitiformes and the Acariformes. Then under Parasitiformes, there are four orders, namely Opiliowacarida, Holotyrida, Mesostigmata, and Exodia. Under Acariformes, there are two orders, namely Trombidiformes and then sapcoptiformes. Under the superorder Parasitiformes, it is classified into four orders, again mainly Opiliocarida, Holotyrida, Mesostigmata, and Exodia. Order Opiliocarida is the alternative names for this are suborder Opiliocarida, order Opilio-Acariformes by Johnston 1982, Walter and Proctor 1999, order Opiliocarida and order Notostigmata. There is only one superfamily Opiliocaridae in this order, pulp tarsus with one or two terminal claws, adult opistosoma with four pairs of dorsolateral stigmata, or without perithremes. Posterior to level of coxae, the third, anus terminal, throat counters, the third and fourth, divided into two podomeres. They are widely considered as primitive as they retain 6 pairs of eyes and possess abdominal segmentation. They are large mites, which is there are 1.5 to 2.5 millimeters and are rarely found under the stones and other debris in semi-arid habitats. These mites are carnivorous or omnivorous rather and seem to be of no economic importance. Order Holotyrida, it is the alternatively known as suborder Holotyrida, suborder Holotyrina, and order Holotyrida. Adult holotyrids are large. There are 2 to 7. It ranges in 2 to 7 millimeters with a heavily sclerotized body. And tyre means shields and may be having one pair or without ocelli. A gland opens on the lateral dorsal shield posterior to the perithemy or the Tons organ. There is only one superfamily, Holotyridae. These mites live in mesic litter habitats on islands in Caribbean Sea, in Indian Ocean, in Southern and Central America, and in Australasia, and are found in leaf litter, in mosses, and under stones in moist forests, from near sea level to about 2,000 meters in elevation. Next one order is the Mesostigmata. They are commonly known as Mesostigmatan or Mesostigmatid mites. Mostly they are free-living predators. They belong to the family Phytocidae and Lapidae, or maybe parasitic on vertebrates and on social insects. Many members are phoretic in insects as diatonemes. Some mites feed on pollen, nectar, and fungi. Most mesostigmatid mites are fluid feeders. Next, there are suborder in Mesostigmata, the suborder Monogymnaspida. They can be recognized by the single pair of spiracles positioned laterally on the body. Most Monogymnaspida are found as parasites of birds, including poultry birds, mammals such as the rat mites, reptiles such as the snake mites, and bees. Many species are found on flowers as predators of stored products and also predaceous on soil mites and small collembolans. Monogynous Pides account for most of the 12,000 described species of Mesostigmata. The next suborder is the Triginaspida. Genital region in adult female possesses 2 to 4 shields order remnants. Superfamilies Cercomegestidae, Actinoporidae, Phaedrosidae, Solenopsidae, Megastonidae, and Parantenolidae are all covered under suborder Triganaspida. Most members of Triganaspida are associated with insects, especially beetles and ants, millipedes or centipedes. Some families of this suborder are free-living mites, mostly in tropical to subtropical forest litter. The next suborder is the Sejida. Under suborder Sejida, female mites have large genital shield and large sac-like spermatheca. Superfamilies Segidae and Heterozirconidae are covered under suborder Sejida. They are common litter inhabitants in moist forests in the subtropics and tropics, especially in association with rotten wood. Some members are even predaceous on small arthropods and nematodes. Another order is the Exodida, alternatively known as suborder Exodida and order Exodida. Ticks are actually a highly distinctive group of relatively large mites. Body length varies from 1 to 5 mm as unfed adults but up to 20 mm when fully engorged. There are about 896 species of ticks described from the world. Order Exodida comprise only one superfamily, the Exodidae, which is divided into 3 families, namely Exodidae, Argacidae, and Natalilidae. The next order is the upper order Acariformes. Classification suborder Acariformes is divided into 2 orders, namely Trombidiformes and Sapcoptiformes. Under order Trombidiformes, tracheal system with one pair of stigmata opening between bases of chelicerae or on anterior prodorsum usually present and sometimes associated with perithymes on the cheliceral bases or on the anterior margin of prodorsum. Order Trombidiformes is further divided into 2 suborders, namely Spirolichida and Prostigmata. Suborder Spirolichida tracheal system is absent. Prodorsum with 3 or 6 pairs of setae, including 2 pairs of filamentous both radial cilia, sometimes in a common pit. Chelicerae chelate, and with the elaborate dentition, coxal feels contiguous nasonude. Suborder Prostigmata is alternatively known as suborder Actinidida and order Actinidida. Mites of the suborder Prostigmata have tracheal system with one pair of stigmatal opening between bases of chelicerae or the anterior prodorsum, usually present or the secondarily absent in Auribatida, Stigmidae, and some Dolichocybidea. Prodorsum usually with 4 or fewer pairs of setae or sometimes including 1 to 2 pairs of both radial cilia. Chelicerae rarely chelate or the Ragididae and some Delidae, usually with fixed digit sheet-like or completely regressed. coxal fields contiguous or two, second or the third separated. However, some members of family Trombididae can exceed 12 millimeters in length. Representatives include a variety of terrestrial, aquatic, and marine predators and phytophagous and saprophagous parasites. Order Sarcoptiformes, alternatively known as suborder Acardida and Auribatida, and order Astigmata and Auribatida. In these mites, functional chelicerae are present, often highly modified and may be usually chelate, dentate, palps present, stigmatal openings, and peretryms absent. Linear or elaborated on cheliceral basis, prodorsal plate usually present or absent and often bearing a pair of trichobothria. Some subcapitulum usually with rotelia and pseudoretelia. Impodium of pretarsus often pad-like or covered with processes or produced as tenant hairs and rarely claw-like. Opisthosomal glands absent, genital opening longitudinal, transverse or absent, genital papillae present or absent. Order Sapcoptiformes is divided into two suborders, namely Endostigmata or Auribatida. Under suborder Endostigmata, it is small soft-bodied mites, leg tarsi with unpaired impodial claw. Opistosoma without lateral glands and with 5 to 6 pairs of prodorsal setae, of which 1 to 2 pairs usually or botryoidal. Some mites are elongate to worm-like, often with annulations, usually with reduced prodorsal setaceon and no botryidae. Bimicalidae, Nematolicidae, Versercastidae, Ternacoridae, and Alicoragidae are important superfamilies. The next suborder is the Auribatida. It is small soft-bodied mites, leg tarsi with unpaired impodial claw, alternatively known as order Auribatida, also commonly known as Auribatid mites, beetle mites, armored mites, astigmatans, cryptostigmatans, moss mites, acarids, and so on. Minute to large mites usually with a distinct prodorsal shield or fully sclerotized prodorsum and sometimes with extensive idiosomatic sclerotization. Genital aperture exposed or partially covered by paragenital flaps and may be inversely V or U shaped with usually 2 pairs of genital papillae in the adult. Most Auribatids are fungivores or detritivores and mostly inhabit soil litter systems. Only a few are minor pests or plants. About 6,000 species described in 100 genera. Important superfamilies in suborder Auribatida are Palicaridae, Tenacaridae, Brachytonidae, Hypoctonidae, Parhypoctinidae, Terracaroidae, Perlomanidae, Opidae, and the Ceratozitidae rather. Then the role of Auribatid mites is discussed separately in a chapter on soil mites, as they seem to play good role in soil formation as predators of microarthropods and as intermediate hosts of cystodes, which are disease transmitting in animals. So for acariforms, there are idiosoma. Then the parasitiforms, there are also idiosoma. They are both have capitulum, Chelicera, and pulp. For under Acariformes, there are Botrydia sensilium. That's all for the classification of Acari. That's all. Thank you.